guys, so G'day guys, welcome to today's video. So the first thing we're going to do today is put a seal on this door. You guys might remember in previous videos I've done a bit of maintenance around the door, but the seal is the last part of the puzzle to completely seal this door. I kind of put it off because it's going to make it really hard to open and close the door, but I can still feel the draft standing at the inside of the door. So I'm just going to do a bit of a hyperlapse of doing this. I don't think I really need to explain it. It's just a single-sided sticky foam piece. See if you guys can see it in the video. It's just foam, stop the air going through. So we got that done with only about a metre to spare, which was lucky. It wouldn't have been expensive to go buy more, but it would have been just a pain in the bum. So I haven't actually tried to close the door yet, and I'm not sure how well it's actually going to be able to close. So first problem was closing this door. That latch doesn't quite go right in. I might just get the grinder and grind a little bit of a, I don't know whether to bother or not. It's in, but it's only in that little lip there. It's not in the wood. I don't know if I'll bother fixing it. Alright, so it does close. So that's the foam is actually, the foam must be strong enough that it's actually pushing this door across a little bit, and that's binding as it comes in. That's might have to do a bit of silicone along this edge here. We'll see. The best way to do this, close the door and just feel around it. I'm a bit worried this top corner here is sticking out quite far. But I can't feel any air. So my main issue was this tank here was it's just way too cold. And after I put the rubber on the bottom of the door last week, it was still still a bit cold. So I thought best put some foam in there. It is tough to close, but it's worth it because it's saving me dollars. I am going to repaint the back of these doors. I don't actually really know what happened to them. I think it might be a bit of mould, I'm not sure. So the whole room is painted with mould resistant paint, except for these doors. I painted them with acrylic paint, so that's probably the issue there. Here we've got my ply tanks. I've just thrown these top rails in. I made a little jig that's 10mm on the bottom there to hold it there and get the right height. Like, you can always use a square, but I like using jigs for stuff like this better because using a square gets covered in glue, and this is more stable when you're on the edge there. I know this rail is not overly important, but that's the way I like to do it. So I'm just going to drop a hyperlapse here of me doing these rails, and then we'll have a chat after that. and sanding. So I'm going to do all three at the same time. So my next goal is to get the last one built to that stage, and then the one out the back still needs those top rails in. So I'm going to do a hyperlapse of putting this together. I did the hyperlapse the other day of the other one, so I'm going to do it from a different angle this time. If you don't want to watch it, skip forward a couple of seconds. I know some of you have already seen this, but I'm still going to put it in for those of you who missed it. So here's one I prepared earlier, guys. This one's about 6 foot, I think. Yeah, so this one's 6 foot, and this one goes tight between the pond and the tank on the other side, and at the pond height. Those other ones go above, they're 9 foot, and the pond is actually 4 foot. So on the far side wall above the pond, there's going to be a 1 foot gap between the wall and the tank. I feel a little bit shit about wasting 1 foot of space, because as you guys know, I'm all about optimizing water space, but there is no way I can get them in the room. So I made a little 3mm MDF template and spun it in the area that I need to, and those 9 foot tanks are the exact size point to point of the room, if that makes sense. My camera's playing tricks with the finger there. Ooh. Anyway, so I've just got to clean the corners and put the rails in this one, and then they're all at the same spot. This one I built a very long time ago, 9 months maybe, and yeah, this is where it sat there and sat there. All the plies quite bowed from it sitting around and cupped, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to sit on frames. The water will flatten it out. Beauty about ply tanks is that it doesn't matter. It's not going to crack if something does flex, etc. Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for these tanks. So I hope that wasn't too boring, guys. So this is why we wear gloves. See that brown on there? This glue is such a mess. And if you get that on your hands, that brown, look, you can see a little bit there from a different day. That brown stays on your hands for a good week. It's the worst stuff to get on your hands. It just doesn't come off. Alright, so we've got the rails screwed in that one. So then we've got the 9 foot there. That's going to be stuck to my bench in the morning, but that's alright. And then we've got the other one there. So these guys are ready for fill now. So the next step is to fill all these holes. I'm not sure if I'm going to bog them. I'm thinking about using something like this. Hang on, we might actually have some here. This. So it's like suitable for like gyprock walls and stuff. I wonder if it's any good. Oh yeah, so that's quite runny. I don't know if it needs a good stir, but I'm thinking about using just like a wall filler. I'm stoked. I'd literally just found that while we're talking. I could use bog, but I think it's a complete waste of time. I'll sleep on that one. If any of you have a thought on that, comment below. But I've got bog here. It's just at the end of the table there, but I just don't see the point. And it's so many holes, and that filler will sand easier than bog, and it's purely just to stop water getting in there. Like this will just get fiberglass resin over it. It won't actually get fiberglassed. I'm gonna wrap today's video up there, guys. It's getting a bit late. I don't really feel like filming when I get home. I'm not really going to be up to anything except for feeding today anyway. If you like the video, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm just going to drop subscribe right there. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right spot. This is my first time giving this a go. Subscribe.